Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.
Okay, so I've been watching a lot of like new horror movies. Like, it's the end of the year, so every like horror site I follow is just like best of 2016, or like what you didn't know of 2016, what you missed from 2016, and I've just downloaded everything.
Green Room.
Anything I've seen on lists that I haven't seen, I've downloaded.
Okay.
I literally have I have like 18 movies ready for me, horror movies.
Tell me how they are, buddy.
I will, because
we can watch them together.
Yesterday, probably.
In a naked embrace.
Yeah.
Ooh. What's
so? No, he'll be back at my mom's house.
Teddy. Stop eating the carpet. He's just eating the carpet. That's what he's doing. Oh, yeah,
he's a
fucking the carpet.
He's a fucking idiot.
He's munching the carpet. He's a carpet.
He's
muncher.
a carpet muncher.
He's a fucking carpet.
Teddy is a carpet muncher.
He's a little sexy boy.
So, I watched Train to Busan last night, or Busan. It's a new Korean horror film that's already slated for an American remake.
Fucking boy.
All that I know is if they make it any more like World War Z, I will boycott the American. Because that movie was terrible compared to the books.
World War Z? Yeah.
Oh, book is so fucking cool, and the movie just sucked Brad Pitt's asshole.
The movie by itself, if it wasn't a book previously, like if it wasn't based off of a book, it would have been fine. It would have just been a fine zombie movie.
Oh yeah,
not
but
good,
but
not
the fact
bad,
that it was
just
based
fine.
off of wonderful source material and butchered it is the reason that it sucks so much ass.
And yet
and a PG-13 zombie movie.
And yet I still own it.
I own it too. I think I bought it or gifted it or something.
Dude, it was Black Friday. It was $4.
I guess I would buy World War Z for $4.
Yeah.
But Train to Busan fucking awesome. The new Blair Witch is fucking awesome, by the way. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
It is. It's how sequels should be done.
Oh, it was great. It was great, and don't let anyone over the age of 30 trick you into believing that the original is better than this one, because it isn't.
No.
And
I love the original. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, you respect the original. I respect the original, but I can't say I enjoy it.
I love it. I fucking watch it every Halloween.
So, and let's not even talk about the second one. So
what second one? It doesn't exist.
Didn't we watch
what are you talking about?
We watched it with. Oh no, we watched it with Frowns McBoohoo.
Frowns McBoohoo loves that movie.
He does. I think he.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I fell asleep.
You understand him as an individual now.
I mean, I do, but I still don't understand how anyone in their right state of mind would enjoy.
He's not in the right state of mind, and that gives you,
I wasn't in the right state of mind, and I still fucking hated it.
Yeah.
I still thought it was...
we baked out of our minds and still didn't like it.
Why was it made?
Money. So, I also downloaded things like The Wailing. I love The Host, for the people out there who have heard of Host, or Goemo, as it's called in Korea.
Fucking monster movie.
Fucking awesome, yeah. And I watched Godzilla Resurgence, also known as Japanese Shin Godzilla, and that disappointed me epically.
I still want to see it. I'll still watch it. I just want to see
by saying that it disappointed me, that's just like, I've seen probably half of the Godzilla things out there, including all the cartoons and the terrible 98 Roland Emmerich film. And
Matthew Broderick.
And this one...
Good old Matty.
And Shin Godzilla tries to win back Godzilla after how great and after how much everyone loved the 2014 legendary Godzilla. But ultimately, it was just not that great. As what I would consider an average to experienced Godzilla fan, I could say that it was good, but not great. So yeah, awesome horror movies coming out. You're my movie guy. So I think it would be cool if, we either open with talking about horror movies or acknowledge horror movies more. Because I realized I tried doing that with Django Phillips in episode 10, and he did not see any of these movies that I was talking about, which was Hellraiser, Ghosts of Mars, anything by Clive Barker or John Carpenter. Django Phillips did not know. And I was just like, who the fuck are you and why are you here? So yeah.
Did I tell you about Hellraiser when I watched it?
You watched it for the first time?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I loved it. I thought it was great. The special effects are fucking top notch.
I love the special effects. I love the mythology. I ultimately just hate the story.
I mean, the story, it's a horror movie story. It's
how it's directed. More importantly, by the time the director got to number 2, you could already tell it was going downhill from there. And don't watch past 3.
No, there's someone, I forget which one. There's one past 3 that people like.
Other people like ones past 3?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say like, but
aren't as abysmal as the others.
Yeah, I think the 4th one isn't supposed to be that bad, or the 5th one, I forget.
Because even 3 is, like, bad.
It's almost like, Nightmare on Elm Street, where, like, they made a couple, and then they made a really bad one, and then they got good again, or entertaining again. I wouldn't say good,
like,
but
1, great, 2, 3, great,
amazing.
4.
3 Stream Warriors, right?
I know, 3 is Dream Warriors.
3 is fantastic. 3 is fantastic. 3 is the best one.
3 is everything the sequel should have been. You know, but yeah, I agree with it. But even I enjoy all of the Friday the 13th and all of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. I can't say that about Hellraiser. Hellraiser gets tired after 3.
I feel that way about Halloween. I like most of the Halloween movies, but some of them are just
Halloween
boring.
is just not the same caliber pulp that Friday the 13th and Nightmare.
See, people like to group together those 3, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Halloween.
I wouldn't put Halloween in that.
As the big 3 slashers. And I wouldn't put Nightmare on Elm Street in there. Because Nightmare on Elm Street has more of a, like, what's the word I'm looking for? More of a, like... No, more of like a weird science fiction thing going for he's... Because of what he is. And the way he controls dreams and stuff like that. Friday the 13th, Jason is just a killer. I mean, he's out for revenge, but he's just a killer ultimately.
Yeah.
And Halloween, he's just a killer. Like, that's it. But Nightmare on Elm Street,
I guess
he's doing different things.
In what would be considered like the the holy trinity of horror movies, I kind of see the train of thought. Like, Michael Myers is this guy so filled with rage and anger that he's incapable of being killed, and he's almost an otherworldly threat.
That being said,
a spiritual threat.
As those big 3, Friday the 13th, where Jason is a very recognizable character, and the hockey mask is very recognizable, and everything like that. A lot of people don't put Friday the 13th up to the same caliber as Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street, especially Halloween. Halloween's a classic. Like, nothing's going to be bad.
What I was going to say is that the 3 are very separate from each other.
Yeah.
I usually don't put them in the same category, but ultimately, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street are a lot more like brother and sister, whereas Halloween is just like a cool cousin.
Yeah. I would agree with that. That being said...
Because film-wise, it's also the top of the bunch. Like, Halloween, is the most aesthetically and critically well done.
Totally, definitely. That being said, final chapter, Jason Lives. Both of the best ones, and the hands down. And the first one. The first one's good too, but
first one not even Jason, you know?
Yeah,
that's what's so great about the first one.
Yeah,
and what makes the second one, and what makes the second one so great is that it almost sets up this idea that Jason is like a djinn, you know, like a vengeance-driven demon, which is great. But yeah, we digress. This is Lotsa Pasta, where we read and talk about creepypastas, and you know, Halloween movies are probably, like, growing up, Halloween movies in my VHS player are probably the reasons why I enjoy creepypastas even now, because I watched everything from Pumpkinhead to Alien by the time I was 10, you know?
That's great.
Yeah, but total bullshit.
Yeah,
total bullshit.
Yeah, definitely.
Total pulp, just for the sake of pulp. Yeah,
like Waxwork.
We did just watch Waxwork last week instead of recording a Lotsa Pasta. We watched Waxwork instead, and I love it in concept because it's the 80s version of Cabin in the Woods. but that doesn't make it a good movie.
I absolutely loved it in every single aspect.
It is not as good as things most comparable. I think people try to compare it to like Gremlins,
Monster Squad.
I would agree with you. I don't think it's nearly as good as those.
No, definitely. I mean, Monster Squad is that's culty as shit. That's also campy as shit. Sleepaway Camp, great
for
movie.
a reason. Fucking Sleepaway Camp,
dude. It's fucking great. I'm telling you. All right.
No, it is good.
We digress. We're gonna go.
You don't want me to talk about Sleepaway Camp?
No, we can do an entire.
All right, so this is
podcast.
Lotsa Pasta. We're gonna just jump into our first pasta. But I was told by my wonderful guest, I've yet to introduce you because I have to play your fucking theme music every time I say your name, Disco Dracula!
Hey guys, what's up?
So, yeah, I'm here with Disco Dracula, and he told me before we started this story you wanted to tell a story?
Yeah, well...
Your own personal story.
Yeah. Well, first I'm going to say the name of the first story we are going to read here. It is I Never Saw Her Naked. And this is a creepypasta. But I wanted to say that last night I had a dream that I was dating this one girl that I really want to date. And I woke up and I was just sad because of how lonely I am. So there's that.
Oh, I had a dream where my dad died and I woke up crying.
I think yours beats mine. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, it made me want to text my dad and be like, I love you.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
But I didn't because I realized he's alive.
I mean, regardless if your dad or your mother are alive, if you want to text them I love you, go for it. Do it every day. Do it as much as you can.
My dad would just call me a fruit.
I mean, that's his way of saying I love you too, son.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
true. I never saw her naked.
I never saw her naked. I don't get naked in front of anyone, Sadie told me. Ever.
Sadie.
Sadie. I was just going off. I hit the mic. All right.
I'm keeping that Sadie run first.
Sadie. I don't get naked in front of anyone, Sadie told me. Ever. It was an odd thing to say on a first date. Sure, we had already discussed our jobs, families, and the movies we liked, but this seemed to come out of nowhere. I thought she was joking. You mean you're a never nude? I asked with a grin. What the fuck is a never nude? Are those things?
You've never seen Arrested Development, have you?
No, I haven't. I asked with a grin. No, she said, chuckling. Oh, sorry. No. But I wanted to tell you up front, in case it's a deal breaker. I shrugged. Very few things are deal breakers when you've only just met someone, especially an attractive someone. Besides, whatever her quirks, Sadie was also smart, sexy, and sweet. I already knew I wanted to see her again. You want to see her naked, too.
But you will never see her naked.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks.
You will never see her naked.
What do you want from me? I know! Stop! So I did, many times. We dated, moved in together, and eventually got married. A perfectly normal relationship, except that Sadie really hadn't been joking about her quirk. And all that time, not once did I see her completely naked. She seemed fine with nudity while dressing or bathing, but only behind locked doors. She refused to explain, so her phobia mystified me. Almost anyone would have agreed that she was beautiful, and she claimed to have no embarrassing tattoos or traumatic stories of abuse. When we made love, my hands roamed everywhere beneath her clothes, but I couldn't feel any scars. In the end, I gave up asking about it and just accepted her as she was. Then she got pregnant.
Oh, shit!
Oh, shit! If you never had a lover suddenly turn cold on you, I don't recommend it. Over 9 long months, Sadie's sweetness disappeared, as if everything had been an act. When her water broke and we went to the hospital, she even banished me from the delivery room.
You want to banished?
Yo, what a bitch. Who does that?
Yeah, what a cunt, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
you've worked through all of that with her, taking care of her and getting this baby into the world. Least you could do is watch her vagina be torn asunder.
Ah, dude. Vaginas get wrecked. Unless she has a cesarean.
Yeah, that's true.
I suppose that was a good thing, because when the baby came, I heard screams. Not the wailing of a newborn, but the frenzied shrieks of adults. By the time more hospital staff rushed in, Sadie's doctor and nurses were dead, having torn out their own eyes before slitting their throats or bashing their skulls against the floor. Holy shit, this got dark. And at the center of it all was Sadie, unconcerned by her bloody surroundings as she cradled our child in a sheet. Nobody else understood. Nobody else grasped what I grasped. Yeah, because everyone's fucking dead. Those people had seen my son, my newborn, naked son. In the days that followed, I felt even more unwelcome in my own home. Sadie would sit in a rocking chair, holding our strangely quiet child, and both of them would stare right through me. Then, not long ago, Sadie died in a fiery car accident. Oh my god. It was almost a relief, I'll admit, but being a single parent isn't easy. Alone with my son now, as silent stares grow colder every day. I keep my eyes tight shut whenever I bathe or change them, of course. Whatever he really is, I can only assume that it would drive me mad to see it. But it's almost as maddening not to know.
I never saw her naked.
They'll never see me.
Yeah, it is my Ben Kingsley Mandarin impression.
Yeah, they ruined him.
Yeah, they fucking killed that character.
Fucking hate that.
So, so the entire time you were reading that story and you were petting my dog, and he just looked at me with this face, and I had never figured out what it meant to be cucked until now, because he just looked at me like, you never pet me like this. And like, I lay with him, he's my little spoon, and I sleep almost entirely naked, and it's just like, my hands fuck this dog.
Alright, let's not go
petting wise.
So penetrate him with those hands?
But the way he looked sitting on your lap as you just two-handed him, he was just looking at me with this just like, oh, you could scratch my head if you want, but it won't be nearly as good as the rest of this. Oh,
I like your dog's voice that you
it's like
give
an old
him.
Jewish woman.
It's great because it's nothing like him.
It's nothing.
He is a child.
Teddy, as Teddy's voice in my head is Butters from South Park, which is Lou Lou Lou, got something in my pocket. Lou Lou Lou,
you do that voice and Snapchats and shit with him.
I know, he's fucking
great.
hilarious. He's a little Yorkie poo, and he's a fucking idiot, and I love him.
He's a great dog.
I'm going to read the next story. I'm going to try to go through it quick. I heard really good things about this one, and I wasn't sure I wanted to read it until I saw it just now. I read on... in episode 9, I read another story by this guy, which is really great, so I'm really excited. This is going to be the second story I've heard of this person. It's SomethingStraange with 2 A's. They started off on Tumblr and they moved to Reddit No Sleep, and I believe this story gained a lot of popularity and might have won or placed in a 2015 or 2016 Reddit No Sleep contest.
I think I do remember seeing this, actually. I didn't read it, so I don't know what's coming, but I do remember... I remember seeing it.
The name is very specific.
Exactly, yeah.
I just heard my name broadcast on a numbers station, which is an interesting title enough as it is to... I believe the story I read with Terry the Tickler was, my daughter died on her 6th birthday and a man just handed me photos of her 7th. And it was a very interesting story, but we made fun of it pretty much the entire time.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah, it's good. What do you say?
Nah, for teddies.
Not for teddies. Yeah, you could actually kill your dogs.
Yeah, don't fucking do that.
About something with weed.
Don't be a Sal. Don't be a fucking douchebag.
Don't be a Sal.
You remember Sal?
Yeah, rapes kids, kills them.
Yeah, what a fucking asshole. Don't be a
Yeah,
Sal. No one
be the
wants to.
crow.
Stop. What? Stop.
So this is, I just heard my name broadcast on a number station. A number station just broadcast my name. That was a week ago. I'm an addict. Anything I can get my hands on, I'll abuse. Drugs, sex, and everything in between. What's in between drugs and sex?
I don't know, actually. Alcohol?
Yeah.
I mean,
But just say that, you know?
Yeah.
But my addictions aren't limited to the conventional. I'll be sucked into an author's work for weeks and weeks, reading everything they've written and piecing it together into a mental tapestry. My behavior isn't life-changing, it's not the way it's portrayed on TV. I haven't sacrificed everything for my habits, yet. My newest addiction has proved to be the most dangerous of all. I became obsessed with number stations. So many of them were projected on the airways, mysterious broadcasts happening in real time, mysteries open to the public. I joined several online communities, and together we worked to understand why they were broadcasting. It was thrilling, working as a group, listening to the broadcasts together and then joining to decode them. to try and understand what they were saying, and more importantly, to who. We were a unit, and though we may not always crack them or get to the bottom of it, we felt we were doing something. We felt we were modern-day detectives, the rejects and outcasts banding together against the world. I made a lot of good friends on those websites. We couldn't crack a beer together like normal guys, and discussions of our personal life were rare, but you got a good idea for who someone was when they truly committed themselves to a goal. We needed to know more. I tried a few stations outside of my designated lot. There was one I became particularly attached to. It was so new, and something about it seemed different. It was broadcast late evening, and the voice spoke in a slow, staccato English accent, a woman's voice. Often, there were biblical references, difficult to spot unless you were familiar with how stations worked. This became my specialty and eventually my main focus. I didn't know everything about the station, but I was beginning to piece together what it was. It all changed about a week ago. Disco Dracula dance break!
Oh no! No, I got a teddy, I can't dance.
The show was reaching the end. The time read 12:07, and I was finishing my last beer and preparing to post an update, then head to bed. The numbers hit a slight static patch, not unusual, and the voice became warped. It took on an almost liquid quality, adapting to the static and morphing round it. Hurriedly, I reached for the volume, just in time for the sign-off. Tune in next time. It was per usual, but the static was getting more and more intense, like something was going through the radio waves. And keep digging, Orson. Wait, I said it was an English woman.
You're already doing better than
And
what I
keep digging, Orson.
That's good.
Alright. I froze. Of course, it could have been a coincidence. Someone else with that name could be related. It had to be me. But they never used names. The 4 words "tune in next time" were apart from numbers, the only words I'd ever heard. The paranoid detective in me set to work. Online, I didn't claim I was Orson. Instead, with the 2 others who'd been listening in, I pretended not to know, and we set off to discover who this Orson was. I knew it was me. I just needed to see if there was any proof.
Is the twist going to be that he's Orson Welles?
Orson Welles, yeah. Go right, War of the Worlds. Isn't that Orson Welles?
No, it's H.G. Wells.
No, it's H.G., right?
We're fucking retarded.
Which one's Orson Welles?
I don't know,
The
Orson
actor?
Welles. No, I don't know.
The community came alive, suggesting anything and everything related. Orson, a pop band formed in the early noughties? I know this person is English and I just don't understand the slang.
So just say it.
Orson, a pop band formed in the early noughties. Orson Welles, famous master of media, was the favorite. I let them burrow away whilst I turned my attention to their other broadcasts, earlier ones, to see if there was a breadcrumb trail leading back to me. It was after this that, like the static, my life became jumbled. Fragments seemed to leap out and overlap each other. I wasn't in a trance, but very occasionally I would come to with no real idea of where I was or what I was doing. Instead, I could just hear the low buzz of static. Oh, it's the dude. Yeah. It's the dude from Citizen Kane. Main actor. Several events from the week after the broadcast leap out at me. The first may have seemed inauspicious, a weird moment that goes forgotten, like the stub of a ticket in a coat pocket, but it stuck out to me. I was at the supermarket in between the sterile white aisles, quietly reading the names of various pastas under my breath to find one that I was looking for, when a tall woman came up to me. Creepypastas!
That's what he was looking for, and that's what he found.
That's what he got. Orson? I frowned slightly, about to reply when she interjected. It is Orson. We met, I think, at... She continued in a slightly robotic manner as I held my side of the conversation. I had no idea who she was, but I didn't want to offend her, and so lied where lying was due and tried to be as vague as possible. The conversation was odd, and her questions became more and more probing until I tried to leave. She let me go and walked with a stilted gait towards the exit. As she left, she turned and waved. 127! Orson, 127! Whilst puzzling over the odd farewell, I realized she hadn't bought anything. In fact, she never had anything to begin with. When I try to remember her, all I can recall is a dark silhouette, and in my mind's eye she stands behind me, although I'm sure we spoke face to face. That night, while still confused after the day's events, I tuned into the station. It ended the same way again, mentioning my name. "Keep digging, Orson," followed by a beep, which usually preceded numbers. 127. It beeped again, and the station shut off for the night. I had my proof now, but still pretended online that I had no idea, and helped with the witch hunt for the relation between 127, Orson, and the broadcast.
I would probably be, like, killing myself at this point. Like, there's too much creepy shit going on for me. I would be having a mental breakdown. I would probably call you and try to explain. You'd be like,
"Help me."
You'd be like, "Disco Dracula, you just gotta calm down.
Disco Dracula.
Just come over and read some creepypasta with me and everything will be okay." And I'd be like, "Fuck you, I'm scared."
The thing that I'm picking up about this specific story is that because of this addict's behavior, they've probably lost or estranged themselves from everyone, with no one really to rely on.
Oh, that's true. Okay, good point. Continue.
The number 127 occurred more and more often, small coincidences like frozen frames in a movie. The number of a local bus, my number in the queue, the price of a tiny lighter, $1.27. I kept seeing the woman, too, always just before I'd see the number. She'd wave to me from the seat of her car as the bus followed, or smile at me through the glass window of an off license. The slightly yellowed teeth, the only feature I can clearly recall.
Because she was English.
Because she was English, yeah, and they don't fucking Austin Powers. Of course, I have to mention here that I know it must seem like I was losing the plot, and to anyone else I'm sure that this would have sent them mad, or confirmed their madness, but to me, it was like mainlining my addiction. It was the difference between cut and pure, between a child's kiss and sex, between dreaming and living. It fueled me. I was now a part of the mystery. I was the star, the missing piece in the puzzle. I'd be spending countless hours poring over it. For an addict like me, this was it. I began to neglect my other duties. The numbers in my life and on the station were like moments of clarity in between doses of static. On Wednesday, a man called and asked if I was Orson. Precisely 2 hours and 7 minutes later, he called back and asked the same question, but this time lingering at the end instead of hanging up, listening to me breathe with no breath of his own. I relied on the community less and less, instead scrawling in a notebook. All else was just white noise. On Friday, I came into town to buy myself a new notebook. She was already inside the bookshop when I entered. She used my name and told me to stop. She took the notebook from me and calmly placed it back on the shelf. The Dark Woman. That was what I started calling her, for I could never remember the color of her skin or any defining features, only the silhouette and those yellow teeth. It became a game. Now I would try and spot her, and she became more and more daring with when she would reappear. At 1:27 in the morning, whilst in the kitchen, to make myself another cup of coffee, she briefly hovered in the kitchen window, smiling. I looked up, and after staring at her for a few seconds, she slunk away.
No.
She was a shadow. I became convinced that the voice in the station was her. It had to be her. I've been on to something, and she was sent to stop me. But I won't stop.
Yes,
Can't
won't stop.
Charlie, make the booty drop.
God damn it. Yes.
She can rattle my windows all she likes, but I won't stop. She knows I watch her at night, slowly creep through my garden, but I won't stop. In my rare visits to the online community... Stop licking my jeans!
Dude, sorry, I can't help it.
He just licks my jeans, man.
Dude, he's been licking my hand this entire time.
It's a weird fucking...
Now he's onto your jeans.
He's licking my fucking jeans.
Move my hand up.
My jeans! In my rare visits to the online community, I noticed that they too had begun to see her. Anyone who listened to the station and investigated would occasionally post about their memory slipping, and a woman appearing before they'd seen the number 127. The reports of the woman are the same. One can never remember her clearly, only her silhouette, and she only appears in brief moments. A smiling face in the throng of people on a crowded street, an extra in an old TV show, a smile at the window. Saturday's broadcast was faster, the numbers came quicker, and the standard "keep digging, Olsen," followed by the number 127, was spoken as if the speaker wanted to get the words out of their mouth and into the world. It's Sunday, and she's everywhere now. I think something big will happen tonight. When the broadcast airs, it's all coming together. My theories are slowly being proven. The numbers, my name, the static. They're saying online that if anyone is listening, they should get out. There's only a few of us now, but I need my fix. I need to complete the puzzle. They can warn me all they want. I'll be listening, even to the static. I kind of rushed into that ending because it goes into an excerpt from Wikipedia on Shakespeare's Sonnet 127. Sonnet 127 of Shakespeare's Sonnets 1609 is the first of the Dark Lady sequence. Sonnets 127 through 152. Called so because the poems make it clear that the speaker's mistress has black hair and eyes and dark skin. In this poem, the speaker finds himself attracted to a woman who is not beautiful in the conventional sense, and explains it by declaring that because of cosmetics, one can no longer discern between true and false beauties, so that the true beauties have been denigrated and out of favor.
So it wasn't a spooky ghost lady, it was just a regular lady that everyone was fucking seeing that he was attracted to, but people didn't know that other people didn't find attractive? Is that what that just fucking said to me? Because that's not what that story is.
I think they're just implying that
he was attracted to the thought of the dark lady.
Yeah. That the dark lady became his addiction. But more so that this English kid read too much Shakespeare as a kid and couldn't get their dick hard enough to get out of it. You feel me?
Yeah, I do.
So I want to say on this next story, this one's funny. I'm gonna keep getting them from this source because I figured they had more like really short ones. This one's called "I Will Never Wear a Condom Again," and I want to say this bears an extreme likeness to a very popular Chuck Palahniuk short story. Ooh. And something that happened to a friend of mine at a sleepaway camp that I went to.
This isn't Guts, is it? Is that the one you're fucking basing it on? Oh, no.
Yeah, this one's a lot like Guts.
Oh, no. I get cringy during Guts.
It's not as bad as Guts.
Oh.
But it has a good punch, though.
I hate you.
No. It has a good line at the end that you're gonna appreciate this. Okay. Because I read through this entire thing and I was just like, oh yeah, Disco Dracula needs to read this, baby.
Oh boy. So this is "I Will Never Wear a Condom Again."
It's all of our dreams.
I mean, yeah, basically, yeah. I will never wear a condom again. Sources: Unsettling Stories from Facebook.
Yeah, from Facebook.
I'm assuming that's what the FB means.
Fuck book.
I mean, you can call it
fuck
that too.
Butts.
That's one of those ads on the porn sites. Show of hands. Who actually likes wearing condoms? Exactly. They're the worst. They're uncomfortable. They destroy all feeling, and if you actually manage to complete the act without deflating like one of Tom Brady's footballs, you have to waddle over to the bathroom to throw that thing away while it hangs off you like an eating disordered grub. But you know what? We still wear them because we're civilized people. Here's the thing. Fuck being civilized. I'm not going near one of those latex pieces of shit for as long as I live. As if everything I said above wasn't enough, I had to deal with what happened last night. God knows if I'll ever be able to have sex again. I'd only been on one date with Amy before yesterday, but it was obvious there was a lot of chemistry between us. So after we had dinner last night, things went their natural way. That's a nice way of saying we were grunting and sweating all over another in a cab on the way back to my apartment. I tipped the driver extra. Yeah, what a champ.
By coming on his shoulder.
Alright. I thought it was just... Alright, if you want to go that route, I was saying he was a champ. He was a bro. He was a real bro. This guy sounds like a bro. We made it back to my place and continued the various biological manipulations we'd started in the taxi. Added bonus to being at home, less clothing. Anyway, things progressed, as we'd both anticipated, and a little while later, she was asking me to get a condom. Who was I to deny the lovely woman what she'd asked? I reached over and grabbed one from the nightstand. Amy took it from me and tore off the wrapper. She looked like she was considering the options for a moment. Then she leaned over and put the condom back on the nightstand and did something else to me for a little while. Ooh, I wonder what that was. Something quite nice, I might add. Thanks, buddy.
She fingered his butthole.
Hey.
She touched his prostate.
Dude, some people love that.
Some people get off real quick.
Oh, yeah. That's
some people.
What are you implying right now?
I'm talking about your butthole.
Shh, don't talk about it. About 9 seconds later, I had her stop. Wow, that's it, huh? I knew the date would end pretty damn early if I let her continue. Amy obliged. Then she repositioned herself to the edge of the bed. Even I could figure out what that meant. I got up, grabbed the condom from the nightstand, rolled the thing over my stupid dick, and we went to work. This time it was good. It was for about 4 seconds.
It's a new record, right?
For him, maybe 3 seconds. I thought was the old record. 3.5. What was it?
I don't know, man.
I don't know either. In that 4th second, something pinched the tip of my penis. I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going.
Do you want me to read the rest?
I don't like where this is going. I'll read it. I don't know how much I like it though. Look at
Something pinched the tip of my penis.
hard. I withdrew faster than the Republican Guard after the fall of Baghdad.
I like the way this guy writes.
Yeah, I really do too. It's great. I yelped as I pulled it out. I heard Amy mutter, "Oh my fucking god, really?" I wasn't particularly concerned with her annoyance, though. There was an immensely sharp pain directly at the entrance of my urethra. Fuck, I hate this. Something hard was hidden inside the condom. No pun intended. And I realized, with growing horror, it was moving. My yelps turned into I don't like this. My yelps turned into a sustained shriek as I peeled the condom off while pinching the tip and feeling something wriggling around under my fingertips. Whatever I was pinching crunched oh, fuck. I don't like this! Holy shit! Alright. Deep rest, Disco Dracula. Deep rest.
Do you need to take a hit? We can take a dance break.
Dance break!
Disco Dracula dance break.
I don't think this is gonna help. Whatever I was pinching crunched between my thumb and forefinger. Once I'd been freed from the condom, I saw what it was. One of those house centipedes the apartment would get whenever it rained outside. Do you know what house centipedes are? Well, there was one up my dick. And I'd broken it in half. The other piece, which still moved, was lodged firmly inside my urethra. I screamed and screamed, and when Amy turned around and saw what the commotion was, she made a sound I was certain would wake up the entire apartment complex. I pinched the half insect and tried to pull it out of me. Again, its crunchy body broke off in my fingers. I wanted to die. The piece that was still stuck in me, the piece that was still moving, was getting further inside my penis the longer I stood there. And then something happened. It's something I never expected, and it's something I still don't believe could ever occur in real life. But it did. And the world has to know. Still, before I mention it, I need to say that the ordeal ended about 15 seconds later. Amy left and I went to the hospital to get checked out. The nurses laughed and the doctors looked disapprovingly at the nurses before turning around and shaking with laughter themselves. Fucking cunts.
Yeah, right? I have a fucking bug in my dick that could fucking kill my entire genital system.
Stop fucking laughing at me, you assholes. I was given a clean bill of health and told to make sure nothing crawls into my condom the next time I have sex. It was nice of them to get their medical opinion. The part I left out, though, was when Amy demonstrated the true nature of her character. Even though I never expect to see her again, I will be forever in love with that woman. It's because in a time of great stress, and a time when a man is suffering and there's only the act of a great person that can save him, someone will step up and do what needs to be done. Amy was that person last night. In the throes of my misery and pain as I flailed with terror and confusion to get the remaining fraction of the centipede out of my dick, Amy put her hands on my shoulder. She stared at me. The light of diners, drive-ins, and dives from the television casting an angelic glow on her dark skin. Then she uttered words that will both haunt and enrich my memories for the remaining years of my life. Stop moving around so much. She let out a long sigh of resignation. I can probably suck it out. So she sucked the centipede out of his dick?
She tried, because remember, I just want to remind you, 15 seconds later I ended up going to the hospital.
Oh, okay. I was going to say he went to the hospital anyways, because there was a fucking centipede
they're
up his
implying that for 15 seconds, this girl tried sucking a centipede out of this dude's dick.
Oh my god. That was bad. It wasn't as bad as Guts by any means.
It was not as bad as Guts. Guts makes me fucking shiver.
I will never read that story again. Bugs in your dick probably does not feel good.
No, which is why I have to tell this story after reading that. I have to tell my story.
Oh no, I forgot about your story.
Yeah, and then we'll get into some troll pasta to end it.
Oh no.
So I went to a church camp for
I don't like the story already.
Yeah, I know. My family has never been religious, but it was a sleepaway camp with hot Christian chicks.
Hey, I think it did you good. I think it did you good, Chance.
I think it did me good too, because I ended up fucking 2 of those girls on 2 separate occasions.
Listen. No one likes someone who brags.
Years later, though.
Still had sex.
Yeah, totally. But, like, I had met these girls when I was, like, 10 or, like, 12.
That's the best time.
So, yeah. So, between those, like, 4 years, the last year I went... So, there's this kid named fucking Kurt. And let me remind you that the pretense of this story is church camp with, like, 12-year-olds. Or 12 to, like, 14. And... all the camp counselors were smoking weed. It was like wet, hot American summer. And they were just hilarious and stupid, all the camp counselors. But we did stupid shit like sneak out at night and, go over to the girls and do ridiculous games and make out and do stupid shit.
Like Who's in My Mouth?
Like Who's in My Mouth? And there had come a point where the guys and girls were going to play separate games of Truth or Dare. And... the reason the girls wouldn't play with the guys is because they were more concerned about gossip and bullshit and, girls' truth all the time. And guys just wanted to see how they can one-up each other with stupid dares or getting them to say something dumb to the girls or do something dumb to the girls. And just very stereotypical behavior. And I swear to fucking God, a kid named Devin dared Kurt to stick a toothpick in his dick.
I don't like this.
Kurt turns around.
Stop. I can't do it. Stop. I'm going to plug my ears.
He sticks a toothpick in his dick, in his soft, flabby fucking cock. And when he turns around to show, I believe, Devin, he goes, oops. And it breaks.
I covered my ears at the wrong part.
And,
whoa.
And he immediately freaked the fuck out. Not that it hurt, he said, but just, that's just not right. And we had to end up telling because Kurt was in my fucking cabin. We ended up having to tell Hugh, our camp counselor, fucking pothead Hugh, what happened. And Hugh at first laughed because I think, like you, he had heard some kind of bullshit story about it. Or rumors of it happening, and he thought we were lying. And
get on with it.
When we showed Hugh, he figured it out. And Kurt promptly left for the emergency room, and we did not see him again for the entire 2-week.
End of story.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Can I come back?
Yeah, you can come back.
Is it safe?
Yeah, it's done. But yeah, that story, I tell that story a lot just because Kurt's a fucking idiot, and people should not go sticking toothpicks into their dick holes. So we're going to just dive into Troll Pasta now to finish off this episode. I hope you've enjoyed all the stories thus far. What do you think?
What do I think about what? The stories?
All the stories we've told so far.
I liked mine. Fucking, the fucking I will never wear a condom.
Yeah,
again.
We'll never wear a condom.
Yeah, I fucking wouldn't either after that experience. I probably wouldn't have sex again after that experience. For a while, at least. Yeah.
We're going to hop into some troll pasta. I'm going to start with this short one called The Business of Death. There was a young man whose name is not so important, but let's call him Jacob for now. Near the prime of his life, he moved to a small community in the countryside of a nation whose title is not so important. He was bright and ambitious then, and had grand plans of working up to the position of local mayor or head of law enforcement, perhaps. It was on a new spring day when the winds carried in a warm breeze and dandelion seeds, when he sat upon a time-worn black bench with entrancing wrought iron flora adorning the sides. It was in that same town square bench that a hunched, wrinkled man took seat next to him.
Hello.
Adjusting the thinly lined spectacles sitting upon the bridge of his crooked nose, the man gave a low chuckle and said, "It's an art form, really." Jacob pitched up his head slightly to the left, and as peculiar as the old man's statement was, he wondered, "What is?" "My job. I deal in the business of death, but not many ever seem to appreciate it." Less than a month there, and he'd already met who he presumed as the local mortician. Well, with nothing much more to do that day and a curiosity peeking out, he let the man continue. they never expected. When I come around and cut them away from the very lives they'd grown into for so long, at first, I was a true novice, just twisting off their heads with my bare hands. But as time went by, I collected an impressive set of tools to cut them with. Literally. The young man's eyes flared open as the old man gave an empty yet grim smile towards the green plots surrounding the town hall. Leaning towards the suddenly uncomfortable Jacob, as if telling a secret, he went on, I'll let you in on this, and I promise I'm not bragging, but I'm the best in town. I even have some of the most gorgeous specimens as well. Ask anyone. If you convince Mr. Roberts, the coroner around these parts, to let you in his home for a cup of tea or two and a nice conversation, the rigid fool might just show you his accumulation of them. Some he's picked out himself. Others I've had the honor of putting into their very cases. There was an unsteady silence as he stopped to catch his breath, and Jacob considering running to the police station. The old man interrupted the pause himself, however, when he pointed a bent finger towards a not-so-far-out empty field. Empty all but for a schoolhouse which, at the same moment, was letting out children of all shapes and sizes, marked also by the brass bell ringing about it in a nearby tower. Would you look at them over there? My God, aren't they some true beauties? If I could, I'd take one of them home right now, if it weren't for that uptight principal and his damned territorial issues. But then the missus wouldn't be so fond of it either, not without her consent at least. Oh, if I just could, though, I would give them a new home and the love and caring they deserve. He gave a heavy sigh and twiddled around with some buttons on his pocket, muttering, I'm afraid I'm getting too old for this, though. I wouldn't be surprised if I broke my back the next time I'm out. What with all the digging and chopping and waiting for them to grow up. Jacob, however frightened he was, just needed some sort of reassurance before running off to report the ridiculous-sounding crimes of a seemingly weak old man, so with a nervous laugh, he asked a question he was expecting to very much regret. What exactly is your job, sir? Why, but a lowly florist, of course.
What else would it be? What else would it be?
A child murderer!
Or just a regular murderer who also murders children.
That's true.
He has no preference, no age preference. Old people, young people,
that's the business of death.
People, dogs, cats, birds, fucking anyone. Gays, straights, bisexuals, Jews, Buddhists.
So,
Hindi.
I like, I took the business of death. Funny.
I liked it, by the way. It was great.
It was good.
So, this is Buses Suck. Hello, my name is Randy, and I'm a survivor of a demon attack. Yes, you read correctly, a demon attack. Let me explain. It all started when she got on board my Greyhound bus. She was tall, blonde, busty, and wearing all leather, right down to her knee-high pumps.
So I apologize for your intermittent interruption of the story. I will keep the oh shit, what's that? And me running. My toilet just overflowed upstairs, and I don't know fucking how. No one used it in the past day.
Well, you got people working in your house. They might have used it.
They might have used it. My hands smell like shit now.
Yeah, I didn't get
just
that
start
far
from
into
the top.
it. All right, this is Buses Suck. Hello, my name is Randy, and I'm a survivor of a demon attack. Yes, you read that correctly. A demon attack. Let me explain. It all started when she got on board my Greyhound bus. She was tall, blonde, busty, and wearing all leather right down to her knee-high pumps. The studs on her ears said trouble, and the one on her tongue, something she casually flashed in my direction, told me she was dangerous. She took the pair of empty seats next to mine, and I could feel her looking over toward me periodically. I didn't dare look her way. She smelled of roses and incense, the telltale scent of a succubus. Although I tried my best, I could not stave off the sleep forever. This connection was just another part in what had already been 20 sleepless and otherwise uneventful hours of bussing. I awoke to find her undressing me, bending forward to try and, well, all I will say is suck the life from me in a manner most fitting of a demoness that preys on sexual energy. Like I said, I'm a survivor of a demon attack. I won't go into detail as to how I managed to escape that encounter with my life, but I will say this. Never before have I been so glad to have had to pee. because he was having sex with a succubus, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta pee."
Or it was just a hooker that tried blowing him, and he pissed on her.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that vibe from it.
It's a crazy dude.
All right, we're going there. Yeah, some people are into that.
Yeah.
Golden showers.
Golden showers.
People are into some weird shit. I don't understand.
All right, I'm going to read this last story here, titled "Last Words," which are the fitting last words of this Lotsa Pasta episode.
Yeah, very, very fitting.
Last summer, my brother and his friends went exploring a cave about 3 miles east of my house. There was a cave in, and when the rocks were cleared, photographs and a video camera were discovered. The photographs were generic: pools of water, pictures of friends walking, cool rock formations. But soon, the pictures got much darker and blurrier, as if whoever took them was nervous or shaking. The lack of light was said to be because they were far down in the cave, but it was probably the cave-in. Oddly, the final picture was extremely blurry. It appeared all black, except for what appeared to be a figure coming at the photographer mid-stride. Much more interesting was the video camera. It began with my brother Eric talking to one of his friends, a guy named Jeff. They were riding in Eric's car discussing their trip. They had heard about unique rock formations and possible paranormal activity in the cave, so they decided to go there and explore. There were 4 people there: Eric, Jeff, Nathan, and Jack. A fast forward through the tape revealed nothing substantial. About 30 minutes after they entered the cave, a loud noise was heard. The camera spun around just in time to see the last shred of sunlight vanish through tiny pinhole-sized rays of light peeking through the mound of rocks that had trapped them. They continued making their way down. They exchanged conversation to keep their nerves down, trying to repair their shattered nerves. The tape grows darker and darker as they descend into the cave until everything is pitch black around them. Their only source of light was their camera and the few matches they had left. Suddenly, when they had wandered until about 9 p.m., the camera jerked down, stopping on a blurry shot of a rock. "What happened? Oh God, I just fell into some pit." There was a slight illumination at the edge of the screen, no doubt a match. The rocks shifted and the camera was picked up by Nathan. He panned down, revealing his bloody legs. Eric then said, "I can't see the bottom of the pit. Man, I wish we at least had a candle." The camera was sat down, and the sounds of Nathan trying to climb out was heard. "Jack, can you hand me some more matches?" said Eric. Fast footsteps were suddenly heard, and then the sound of a struggle. The final sounds were of my brother and his friends' distant screams, then more footsteps. A grayish-white thing...
Bless you.
A grayish-white thing was seen crawling down the wall of the pit, but it was too blurry to distinguish. In less than a second, the lens cracked, static covered the screen, and then it ended. My brother's last words were, "Man, I wish we at least had a candle. Jack, can you hand me some more matches?" It seems to be cliché that arbitrary statements were often a person's last statement. At least, I believe those were his last words. He may have screamed something as he was dragged away by God knows what. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, shit.
The story just stops right there. I'm not sure what happened. I'm sure he meant to say happened. But,
Probably, not happy.
But
I'm
the
not
story...
sure what happy.
I'm not sure what happy.
I'm not sure what happiness is.
Yeah, it's the start. He started his pop career then.
Yeah.
To be the next... What's that bitch you listen to?
Carly Rae Jepsen? You
Carly
just,
Rae
you fucking call her a
Jepsen.
bitch? She is perfect. You stop
She's
it.
a perfect cinnamon roll, too perfect for this world.
She did say weed brownies were underrated.
They are. We need more of them in this world.
Yeah.
So that was Lots of Pasta with Disco Dracula, featuring my dog Teddy and a flooded basement and the smell of shit.
It's been fun.
It's been a active evening.
You know what? I like adventures. This was an adventure.
It was. Any closing statements, stories?
Don't be a Sal.
Don't be a Sal. Disco Dracula taking us out.
Do, do 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 do.
Two to the one to the three. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get more ass than a toilet seat. Three to the one to the three. I met a bad bitch last night in the D. Let me tell you how I made her leave with me. Conversation and